and Enhanced Medical. I'd like to thank everybody this evening for coming along to show their support for both myself and obviously Carol Hunt, who's an independent candidate who's going to be running for government. I suppose lots of people are probably asking, why is Enhanced Medical hosting this evening? But I suppose myself and Carol go back a long way. I suppose in 2005, 2006, when I first went into government to talk about obesity, that obviously it was an epidemic in 26% of the population and it was growing or whatever. Carol really was one of the only journalists, along with Andrea Smith at the time, who really pushed and I suppose supported me in terms of creating awareness out there as to where we were at, where we were going. I suppose I myself now, I'm a mother of 2 children, and I suppose really for me, Carol represents women in business, she represents women in society, and certainly in terms of what her mandate is going into government is certainly what I think as a young mother, as a businesswoman, really for me, the last couple of years, you know, we've all been there, and I think everybody's been whinging about the current government, and for me, I said, well, what do we do to change it? And really, each and every one of us has the opportunity to change that and to change people and to put people like Carol in there who can make a difference. You know, Carol is a mother, she's also an experienced journalist, and for me, I think she really is the people's person to put in there. So,
I don't have to say anything now. First of all, thank you all for coming here. I'm really, really delighted. And of course, thank you so much to Aisling. Thank you to Pauline for doing so much work. She's been absolutely brilliant. I will tell you, actually, on my way here this evening, and you probably did as well, went past all of these amazing posters of all these fabulously beautiful looking politicians. And I was wondering, had they all been in here, you know, to get a little bit of work done, but there's no point in asking Aisling because she won't tell. She won't tell at all. But have a look, they look stunning. But the first time I actually met Aisling and was that I had just started working as a journalist to pay my childcare fees actually, and I was sent out during the midst of the Celtic Tiger to do a before and after piece on why everybody was getting, you know, a little bit of tuck in it or a little bit of Botox. And I was sent to Aisling, who looked after me fantastically, and I got to know her then, and I got to really, really respect her. I thought she was a really, really savvy businesswoman, but I also thought she was really, really kind and very, very intelligent, very, very caring, and we had an awful lot in common. We were both, you know, working mums. We were trying to cope with work, with childcare, with the fact that we felt that nobody in government was paying any attention to working women or women staying at home or anything to do with the problems that women face today. And we used to get together over a glass of wine and we used to complain a lot about this. And we used to say, what can we do about it? We need to get more women in, you know, looking after it. And we also used to talk about things like the obesity crisis. And you may know that Aisling has not once but many times has addressed the joint houses of the Oireachtas on the obesity crisis. She's one of the leading voices of concern about what is happening in Ireland with obesity, and particularly for children. And I have such respect for her. She works so hard, and she really is trying to focus government attention on what is, you know, a potential time bomb. So I've worked with her in those areas, and she's been absolutely brilliant. But again, we went back to the fact, why is there nobody doing more for women, you know, for businesses, for childcare, for all that sort of thing? And I used to write all the time about why were there no more women in politics. We have, you know, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, they have better representation of women in Parliament than we have here in Ireland, and they're not exactly bastions of feminism. You know, at the moment we have the highest percentage of women in the Parliament that we have ever had since the foundation of the state, and it's 16%. 84% are still male. Can you imagine if since the foundation of the state that 84% representation in the Parliament at its best were female? And, you know, the men only got to 16% on their very best day. There would be uproar. The lads would be out protesting on the streets. They wouldn't do any work. They'd hold down tools, and they would be right to do it. So why have women accepted this for some? So I was writing all this about complaining, getting together for glasses of wine, that somebody should do something, somehow, somebody, and eventually my 15-year-old daughter went, why don't you do it? God, I can't. And it's like, why can't you? Real people don't do
politics. Ordinary people don't do politics. People like me don't do politics. You know, I've no parent in politics. I've no family members in politics. I've no friends. You know, I'm not a school teacher. I'm not even called Mary. I have none of them that are needed for going into politics in Ireland. But eventually I thought, okay, I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll go for it. It's going to be very tough. I'm going to go as an independent. The reason I'm going as an independent is because I've seen so many politicians that I have huge respect for. I think they're very, very good people, and I've seen them make decisions and vote for legislation that I know they don't believe in. And the only reason that they vote for this legislation is because they're following the party whip, and they're doing what's best for the party and not what is best for the people or for the country. So that's the reason that I'm staying with the independents. I'm with the Independent Alliance because we're a group with a specific charter working towards a specific aim, but we're trying to encourage debate, discussion. We see no reason why government has to fall if legislation isn't passed. You just go back and you make better legislation, and you debate more, and you do it better, and you agree, and you don't just fire insults at each other across the Parliament floor. So that's another one of the reasons why I've remained an independent. So I'll be putting my name up, which I've sort of done already, and no getting out of it now. I still wake up in the middle of the night going, what am I doing? But I wouldn't be able to do it, and I'm just overawed at the amount of support I have received from people like Aisling, my mum, from my campaign manager, from my fabulous social media person and all of these people are doing this for nothing because I have no budget whatsoever. So I'll end on that, and thank you so very, very much for tonight.